So there's this sciatic nerve that I got it going down the left side of my body. Apparently, one of my discs is touching, impinging on my sciatic nerve. Boy, does it hurt. I mean, for certain nights, I only could sleep 3.5 hours because I couldn't even get in a comfortable position. So I went to my daughter-in-law, Carolyn Finnegan, who is a chiropractor deluxe in Oakland. She may be the best. And she put me on machines and did all kind of stuff, and it helped. And then my doctor gave me some prednisone, which, the inflammation, helped the inflammation go down. But I don't know what the long-term, what happens with this stuff. But it made me think some thoughts. I'm 75, so I'm an old man. Last year, I had gout. Who the hell ever gets gout? And then you remember
it was my fault. It was definitely my fault. You were like, I just want to lose 10 pounds. I was like, oh, you should go on the keto diet. I've been doing it. All you got to do is eat a ton of meat. It'll be great. 3 weeks later, gout. I was like, oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, because my uric acid went up and, it's terrible. And then now I got sciatica. And these are things I didn't even know what they were. You read about it and someone in a book had gout or sciatica and you think, what the hell is that? I got to tell you. So what I realized is, part of the humiliation of being an old person is you begin to get these things that you don't even know what they are. And God knows what comes next. But then there's a deeper level. Because I'm old, you think about life in a different way. When you're young, you look ahead. Like Iggy, you look ahead. Where am I going to end up? What's my next job going to be? What's my next adventure going to be? I don't really think about adventures anymore. I think about not having sciatica and having tea with my wife at 3 p.m. And that makes me very happy. And I realize now, instead of looking ahead, which I do, but there's much more to look back on than look ahead. And I look back on my life and I ask questions like, have I led the life I wanted to lead? Yes. Have I had a happy life? Most definitely. Are there things I would do differently? Yes, absolutely. Was I a good guy? And that's the tough one. I think I'm in general a good guy. I'm a good husband and a good father, but I was a real jerk. Like maybe most people are when they're younger. I mean, through my 30s, I was difficult, self-centered, cruel at times, really insensitive. And what I'd like to do is, in Batman, he puts up the bat signal over Gotham.
Yeah.
I'd like to put out the Lowell signal over America and write, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. It's tough. I know what you mean. It's tough to know that even though you feel like you've become the person you want to be and you're a good person now, that there's a handful or more people in the world who really don't like you. And right,
not to like me.
Because you wronged them. And it's tough to know that I feel I got names on at the top of my I can name right now. People I wronged in my past, I feel bad about and I think about from time to time. And it's funny, you could even reach out and try to say something nice and I don't think they really want to hear from you. There's nothing you can really say. There's nothing you can really do. It's just something you got to live with.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know how that feeling is. Actually, I've been thinking about that recently. And it's a weird feeling. Yeah. There was one person from high school who I wronged in a way. And I tried to reach out recently and the person was nonplussed to hear from me. I was like, yep. There's nothing I can say. There's nothing. I can't be charming. I can't apologize again. It's just something I got to live with. So I wasn't the worst person in the world. I just ruined friendship and that was on me. So what are you going to do?
So you know what I'm feeling. And I feel it now. Again, I'm a very happy person and I'm a very fulfilled person, but I have regret. I have remorse. I have guilt. And I just have to live with it. And if anybody,
I'll let you off the hook though.
If anybody's watching this and I wronged you and I'm sorry.
Me too.
It all came from being 75 and having gout and sciatica. It really, brings you down to earth.
Did you feel like it was karma from the heavens above?
No, I feel like it's getting old.
Yeah,
it's getting old.
As long as it just happens, it's inevitable.
It's a bitch.
It's a pisser.
It's a bitch.
Well, I should be so lucky one day. Hey, Grant, would you rather trade 4 first-round picks and some players for Deshaun Watson or first and second round picks with players for Deshaun Watson? I'd rather pick Dak. I don't know, man. I wouldn't. I'm the Billy Bean of football analysts. I feel like one guy isn't going to really change your team. If you happen to draft a great player and he's on a reasonable contract, great. But just trading everything away from one guy, you just turn into the team that player left. You just be the Texans. So I don't know.
And I would also add, I would have lots of questions about him. I mean, is he going to come in to think he's the general manager?
He might, after 1 year, be like, you know what, John Lynch has to go.
Yeah.
You know what, Kyle, I don't like your quarterback coach. Say what you want about Jimmy Garoppolo maybe not playing through injuries or not being available. He never does stuff like that.
No.
If he has any grievances, we don't hear about it. And if he wants off the Niners, we don't know. And he could have every reason to go off. So I just feel like I don't know if Deshaun Watson's a diva. And the thing about that one guy, Easterby, makes me feel like he's justified. But I'd like to know if he is a diva because he's not entitled to pick the coach. He's not. It's a chain of command in football. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Chain of command. Anyway, he's standing up again, guys. We're 50 minutes in. Dad, we gotta wrap this up. What do you say?
I mean, I'm happy to accommodate.
He's happy to accommodate. Well,
I'm trying to rewrite wrongs.
Horatio says, who was your role model growing up?
Who's he asking?
You.
My father, Emmanuel Milton Cohn, Mickey, we called him. My father was, oh God, I love my dad. My father was a lawyer. He didn't make a lot of money. We lived in a little apartment in Brooklyn that Iggy knew. He worked down by Wall Street, but he didn't have those big clients. My dad was partly blind. He had such dignity. He was so moral. He was so forthright. He taught me how to be, not that I always could pull it off, how to be a good person in the world. And he loved me. He called me Lowly. And every day of my life that we were together, he gave me a kiss. Even when I saw him 3 weeks before he died, he was in a hospital. I come in to cover the Niners playing the Giants, and he was in a hospital in Brooklyn. We didn't know he was going to die, and we kissed. And then I had to leave and go, to a hotel in Newark, and that was the last time I saw my dad.
Wow. So he gave you your moral compass.
No question.
Right.
Now, my mother, of course, did as well.
Of course.
Did as well. But maybe, he was my dad and I was a boy. Maybe my sister got a little bit. My mother, Eve, was phenomenal. And I got my literary sensibility, my humor, maybe my toughness from your grandma, from Eva. But, a boy, this boy modeled after his dad.
Sure. I guess I did too. Even though I met your dad, my grandpa, but I don't remember him. I was 9 months old.
9 months old when he died.
Yeah, that's right. Final question, Horatio. I can't find it, but Horatio wanted to ask, Dad, who's the greatest boxer of all time?
Oh, there's no question. Sugar Ray Robinson. It's not even a debate.
Horatio is probably 16 years old. I don't know if he's ever heard of Sugar Ray Robinson. So tell him real quick who Sugar Ray Robinson was.
He was a 5-time middleweight champion. He dominated boxing in the 40s and 50s into the 60s. Now, why was he better than Muhammad Ali? Okay, different weight classes. Middleweight is 160. Heavyweight is unlimited. So Muhammad Ali was a much bigger man. And had they fought, Muhammad Ali would have beat him because he would have been much bigger. So in boxing, you call it pound for pound. If you equal them out. Muhammad Ali was a great boxer. He had a great jab. He was really fast.
Great chin.
Yeah. What Ray Robinson had all of that. Plus, he hit hard for the weight. Ray Robinson was a one-punch knockout guy. Left or right hand. Left or right hand. Muhammad Ali was certainly not. He would knock you out, but he would take him 35 punches to do it. Plus, people don't understand this, but Iggy does because he studied a lot of boxing with me. As great as Ali was, he was not a great defensive fighter.
No.
He had speed when he was younger and he could pull away from punches. But when he slowed down, as every athlete does, he was available, especially for left hooks, because he didn't know how to get under them.
Yeah, watch that first fight against Frazier.
And Ray Robinson knew how to defend himself. He was a much better defensive fighter. So not only was Ray Robinson the best fighter in my opinion, who ever lived, but no one's even close.
If you go back and watch Ray Robinson fights on YouTube, he just, when it's time to beat a guy, he opens up and just has these extremely violent combinations. And it's like he'll knock a guy out in the first round, second round. He's the most violent middleweight I've ever seen. Really hits hard.
There's a great fight between him and former middleweight champion Rocky Graziano, who's a good fighter and a good guy. And I think it's in the first round. Graziano knocks him down. He gets up. He knocks out Graziano within the next 20 seconds. You can get it on YouTube. It's like 2 minutes. It's like it's all you needed to know.
Yeah. So that's fun. If you want to go back and watch black and white fights, go watch Sugar Ray Robinson. He's a lot of fun. I like watching Sugar Ray Leonard as well. Those are in better quality on YouTube, but Sugar Ray Leonard can't hit like that. He was much smaller than Sugar Ray, right? He's more like a welter.
So he was 147. Ray was 160, was taller, bigger. Yeah. He had everything. Look, Sugar Ray Leonard was a great fighter.
He's fun to watch.
Courage, and he was a finisher.
Quick.
Everything. Yeah. But Ray Robinson was better.
Yes. So good question. Hold on, last one, and then we're gonna let Sciatica go. Dad, does Lowell have a single most memorable sports moment? It's been lots of long life.
Boy, that is so interesting. See, for me, I was at the No Mas fight, Iggy.
Yeah.
I was at the fight where Ray Leonard in New Orleans, where Duran quit. That was unbelievable. So I probably have 35 more, okay?
Yeah.
But that No Mas fight was pretty famous.
Yeah, and you were at the catch game. You were at all the greatest 49er games, but what people don't realize about you is that
And you know what, Iggy? Now that you mention it, the catch, because you know what, Iggy? It changed football.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Iggy, thanks for bringing that up. As much as the No Mas, which was unbelievable, but this was a local story and it changed football, and it involved Joe Montana and Dwight Clark, and I was there. So that's it.
Right. And you knew them before they were legends. You knew them when they were normal guys.
I knew them when they were guys.
Right. Yeah. Where were you when the catch happened?
I was in the press box sitting next to Ira Miller.
Oh, wow.
At Candlestick.
Wow. Interesting. Well, that's a good show. Dad, thank you for soldiering through this one. I hope your back feels better soon.
Thank you. And everybody, thank you so much. And thanks for putting up with me. This was really enjoyable today.
Absolutely. I like the boxing questions at the end. You guys can always feel free to throw in some boxing questions if you want to talk at the end.